If you are a woman living her best hot mess express life while simultaneously crushing it, and you're craving more clarity, purpose, and excellence, get ready because you're in the right spot. I am your host, Chelsea DeBruin-Colbert, and I want to welcome you to Season 2 of All Things Excellence, the podcast, where I'll be bringing you all the inspiration and insights your excellence-seeking heart desires. This season, I'm stepping back into chasing big, bold, and absolutely terrifying goals, sharing every honest step and misstep along the way. We're continuing our beloved Unscripted series, featuring live clarity coaching sessions with guests just like you, and diving deep into raw behind-the-scenes stories of powerhouse women founders I am wildly obsessed with, whose journeys will fuel your own. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready to discover just how close you are to the life your soul is calling you to create. This is All Things Excellence. Hey, All Things Excellence fam. I just feel bad for all of you today. I feel really bad for all y'all that y'all have not been here with us for the last, has it been 42 minutes?
Oh my God, it has.
Oh my gosh, how fun is that? Y'all have not been here for the last 42 minutes. We have a minute that resembles every $1,000 piece of debt that you just paid off in the last year. How cool is that?
Yes.
I know you love that. You love that with
I
me.
do.
We did not know each other. We had never seen each other. We just jumped on 42 minutes ago, and then it was like, did we just become best friends? So
Sure.
how this happened, y'all, this is Coach Jenna. So how I ran across Coach Jenna, if you are listening to this today, there's a high possibility that you have listened to Rachel's episode about the Money Moms Club. And before Coach Jenna was a coach of the Money Moms Club, she was a member, correct?
Yep.
Yep, you were
Yep.
first a member. And y'all, we want to talk about how she just paid off $42,000 in debt in a year. No one got a crazy wild promotion. No one started making but buco bucks extra money. It wasn't like that. So we're going to talk about how that happened and how that can happen for you too. And so y'all know on All Things Excellence, we love a really, really good story. So let's go back to the way beginning. What was going on? What emotional state were you in that you went, damn it, we got to start budgeting?
So there I was. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Life. Like it was real life, right?
It was
Where you're like,
real life. You know,
we can't keep doing this.
yeah, it was, we were middle of the road, not making tons of money, but like not super suffering, but using credit cards and just being like, it's fine, it's cool. Like, we're going to go on vacation. It's $3,000. Like, I think
You talked
it'll be
about that.
fine.
It was
Yeah.
like the camps and the vacations were going on the credit card. So things are like,
Yes.
oh, let's put the camp on the credit card. Let's put the vacation on the credit card, which I think so many Americans validate. And it's like, oh, then we're
Yes.
going to make payments on this.
Yes.
Which is getting worse. Like we're the level at which you don't even have to barely pay for your McDonald's or your Walmart, and you can use the payment thing at the McDonald's and the Walmart.
It tracks when you pull up and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know
It's
it
wonderful and
does.
scary all at the same time.
Yes.
So
And so
it was just,
you were kind of in that.
we were just floating along. And there was no real like responsibility about where our money was going or anything like that. And, at the time, my husband and I had separate bank accounts. So he paid some bills and I paid some bills. And in 21, I had gotten a side hustle and I had made like good money, but we
Mhm.
spent the money. I hadn't built
You
any good
increased
habits.
your
Like,
spending.
oh yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like the
With
money
the money
came in
that
and the money went right back out.
yeah,
Like,
you were like, we're living a higher life now. Woo
yeah.
woo.
We're like, we finally made it. This is great. We bought a
Mhm.
gazebo for outside and I was buying all these pool toys and accessories and like,
Mhm.
and then I ended up quitting that side job and I was like, oh,
Oh.
okay.
And do you feel like that's just because you were kind of living like the average American, a little bit of sleep at the wheel of like, well, we've got enough money to buy the groceries that we want to buy and to live the life that we want to live. And so, you know,
Yep.
you were kind of, yeah.
It just felt like that's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That,
Do you feel
that
like in America we shame budgeting? Like, oh, like we kind of put shame around like, oh, they have a budget.
for sure. Even me saying it out loud, like, oh, it's not in the budget. You can see people's reaction, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. You know, it's
Yeah.
it sounds like restricting and you're closed off and you can't do it. It's just a matter of I'm telling my money to go somewhere else rather than on crap I'm not going to use.
Mhm. Okay, so what something I said to her was the most popular Enneagram type, they say, allegedly, is a 6, and we live in a very Enneagram 3 country. So 6s are the loyalists and 3s are the achievers. 3s, it's very important that the world sees them as successful. But when a 6 is stressed, they go to a 3, and so they work really hard to make sure the world sees them as successful, so that way they don't lose their friends and they don't lose their community. And I think we have crap loads of people in America overspending to prove they
Yeah.
belong.
Yep. I
Feel that?
don't I feel that way 100%. I feel like that's not us.
Mhm.
I think it was finally like we
But
made
there's
it.
a lot of that. As a coach, you see
For
a lot of that.
sure. Oh my god.
Right,
I
right,
own
right.
a
Yeah.
photography studio and just watching the
Um,
moms come in the outfits that they buy their kids or the
yeah.
just you see it. You
Yeah.
see them trying to keep up.
We did family photos with my one brother and his family last summer, and then we did family photos with my other brother and his family this summer. And well, one, I'm like, why would I buy new clothes? Like, I just don't even understand that. Who cares? Like, if you needed me to wear a new outfit, that's a you problem. Like, I'm fine. But also, I was like, oh, well, let's wear that same one and we can merge some of these photos together and give it to my parents. That would be so cute. And my husband was like, we're going to wear the same thing because he works at a high school. And the amount of shaming these little teenagers do to my 40-year-old husband about,
Oh,
Coach Aaron, you've already worn that sweatshirt twice this month. I say,
my
excuse me.
mind.
I'm like, are y'all buying his new clothes?
Mhm.
And to see him
Exactly.
respond to it, like he responds to it though, in like, yeah, but somebody made this comment. I'm like, did you tell him to like grow up, get a job, and pay for their own crap?
It's hard. It's hard for people to judge you regardless of what age they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes you feel small and
Yeah.
crappy.
And that's kind of how we get there, right? Like it's like, I don't want to tell my kid no to the camp. I don't want
Yes.
to say no to the vacation. Like,
Yep.
because I just want people to be like, I hate when I hate people shaming themselves or shaming other people. It's like, oh my gosh, $42,000 in debt. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. $100 at a time.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I
Yeah.
paid for my
That's what it
kid's birthday
normally.
party. I don't know. It just happened. Just happened.
Yeah. One like whoopsie. Oh, wasn't planning for that at a time because you weren't budgeting, so you weren't planning for it, right?
Yep.
And
Actually,
then
you that's so you triggered something. My husband years ago had to go in the ambulance to the ER, whatever. So our like health equity thing had sent us the check to pay for that. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna pay for the credit card with this and paid the credit card, but not really like paying off debt. Like I still had my old habits. So then when the ambulance bill came, my husband's like, where's that money? I was like, ooh, I
well, you
used
didn't pay
it.
off the credit card like you used that credit card to pay for it. You just like paid off the credit card.
Yeah, like I just put money on the credit card, but then I kept using the credit card. Like I thought in my head I was doing
So
this
then when
magical
the
thing.
literal bill came, you
The
didn't
money
even,
wasn't there.
oh, for the love. But I feel like that's so, the humans.
Yeah. It
That's
just
so
the money
humans.
the money came in and it was there and I used it.
Oh my gosh. I talk about how my husband spends his birthday and his Christmas money 10 times over from my parents before it ever comes. And then I'm the one who just still has it hoarded away, like the literal cash, because he's the spender and I'm the saver, like our own childhood trauma. That's how it fizzled out.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
that, right? You spent that ambulance money over and over and over again.
I did.
Hmm.
So now he went to the hospital for something different 3 or
Yeah.
4 weeks ago and this morning I woke up and I opened our bank account. I'm like, "Why does that look bigger?" And it
Yeah.
had $700 in it. I was like, "Put it in the savings." Like I'm so much more aware of our
Yeah.
spending and what's coming in, what's going out, and how important it is
Yeah.
rather than just being like, woohoo! Guess what?
Yeah.
Christmas is coming and that's where it's going.
Yeah.
I'm so much more intentional now because
Yeah.
of the
Living
trauma
in
that I
awareness.
experienced. Yeah, like living in survival mode and finally just getting to my breaking point of like, how can this be real life?
Yeah.
Like I'm 40, I'm 44 now. And it's like we're
Hmm.
struggling to make the payments, but we're making minimum payments. But like
Yeah.
we
But it's
have a
not getting
house.
better. It's never getting better, right? Like,
No,
because
it
the
never
spending
felt
is
like it was getting better.
continuing and the interest is compiling. It's never getting better.
Yes,
So that was like the rubber met the road and you started budgeting, right? So you started
reluctantly,
budgeting.
I started budgeting.
Reluctantly, you started budgeting because you were like, I'm just kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired of
Yes,
robbing Peter to pay Paul and using this to pay off that. And then, right, like you were just sick and tired of
yeah,
being sick and tired. So
yep.
you do all of that and then you start budgeting. And it wasn't long that you started budgeting and then you found the Money Moms Club. Is that
Yeah,
how
I
that
started
happened?
budgeting in, like,
The
beginning of
algorithm.
September, and I
Okay.
found the Money Mom Club. I had actually signed up for one of her free webinars, never took
Ooh.
it, and then
Yeah.
in
Look at
January,
that
it popped up again.
sabotage.
I
That was
know.
nice.
I was like,
That was nice.
"Sorry." So then it popped up in January, and I took
Uh-huh.
it, and I was like, "You know, I'm gonna give this a try for a month because at that point, it's like, I could account, like, this is how much it costs per month. I'm gonna put it into the budget so we can see it. If I
Yeah.
don't get much out of this, I'm done." And my
I'm
husband's like,
bouncing.
"Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
And,
And whether you get help out of it was more of like, am I going to sabotage and not let myself
yeah.
get the juice from the berries?
Yep.
Or am I going to
Yep.
use it? Because it's
Yeah.
great. It's a great place, regardless.
My it's
It's wonderful.
remarkable. It
It is.
just and, like, just
Yeah.
seeing people come in, like, 2 within 2 weeks, and they're like, "Whoa, I've saved this much money. I've organized my groceries. We didn't have to do this." Like, I realized I had, 15 boxes of taco mix downstairs. Like, it's just wild.
My gosh. Okay. Can we? This is, y'all, this is real. I noticed myself doing this at a lot of places, grocery stores, well, grocery stores specifically. I was going to say Costco, but I'm like, no, all of them. COVID did something to our generation.
For real.
Can we? That's real. COVID did
It
something. That COVID and the outage of, like, it started with the toilet paper. I'll tell you what, y'all, I do not ever not have a spare whole Costco thing of toilet paper in my house. Never. I never don't. And I'm even consciously know what I'm doing, but it's like it comes out a lot in Costco. I see where I'm like, oh my gosh, they might never have it again. We might never get to have it again. And I know that is like, like I know that's COVID trauma,
Yes.
where it's
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, it's back in stock. We better get it. We might not
Better
see it
get it.
ever again.
Yep. So a
Yeah.
lot of us have done that with groceries. Like, oh,
Mhm.
canned beans
Because
are
a
on
lot of the
sale.
Money
Okay,
Moms Club
well,
is a grocery like let's start with getting control of your groceries first. That's where
yeah,
y'all start in there. Yeah.
yep, yeah. It's going through your pantry and seeing what do you have in your shelves, what do you have in the fridge, what do you have in the freezer.
Hmm.
How many pounds of meat do you have in the freezer from months ago that you haven't used because you're
Yeah.
saving them for when you make chili at some point? Like, well, how
Yeah.
about we make it now? Like you used that money already. Why don't we use it right now?
And I was never like that. I was never a backstock person, but my husband's mom has an entire room in her basement that I call the grocery store. I'm like, I'm gonna go down to the grocery store. Like you walk in there and it's literally a full room of all the things, all the dried goods, and not in like a doomsday prepper bin kind of way, but in just like
Like everyday living. This is
in like a very, very organized grocery hoarding kind of way. And so he grew up with that. And I see that in him. And then I see how I'm like, oh, some of this actually makes sense. Like I see what you're doing here. And so then I've had to be really cautious of not overbuying because I did really quickly swing into that overstocking thing. And then what's hard is my husband is actually a glorified toddler when it comes to food and he gets really obsessed with something. And then one day he's like, that's disgusting. I don't ever want to eat that again. And you're like, I'm so glad that you were obsessed with chicken enchiladas and I bought 6 jars of Siete Whole 30 chicken enchilada sauce that now they're
That
going to
shit's
expire
expensive.
before you ever feel in the mood again. I'm so excited about this. So you were budgeting. So step one for you was really awareness. And then step two, you get in the Money Moms Club and you start getting control of your groceries. Did you do that too? You really did? You really did get control of your groceries and start
Oh yeah.
spending less?
Oh, it's like I hated the word meal prepping before because I was like, that sounds so hard. I don't want to have to like cook meals on a Sunday and like organize. No. And now I get so excited when that week is coming because I'm like, ooh, we haven't done chicken Alfredo in a while, or
Yeah.
oh, we can do burgers. And it
Yeah.
really makes me go and open my freezer and go, okay, I still have 2 pounds of meat left over. I made a freezer meal the other day, so we can have that on Tuesday because we're busy. And
Hmm.
it's like,
Hmm.
you start to see the freezer and the fridge get a little barren, and you're like, oh, oh, we have no food. Oh, we have no food. but really, like,
Ugh.
I'm only buying the food I'm gonna use
Mhm.
with maybe a couple extra things.
Yeah.
So I'm only spending the money that I need to, as opposed to doing a full grocery shopping trip every single time.
Yeah, I do love that. And we don't super meal prep. We don't cook a lot on Sundays because my husband also is like a I don't eat reheated food kind of guy. That's
Mhm.
another thing from his mom. So many gifts she's given us.
She's
But
a good
so so many gifts.
It sounds
Those are
good.
so many gifts. He does not like that, which I brought up to her one time. She goes, "Why would you want to eat that crap?" And I was like, "All right, cool. At least we're being honest about it. She doesn't like leftovers either." They are not, that's cool. He's learned to eat it at least one other time. So
Okay.
we've made progress. But so we are big meal planners. Very, very
Yes.
big in meal planning and going, what's our schedule for the week? What do we got going on here? What
Yeah.
food is going to fit our life of the day that day that I can cook or you can cook and we can prep and we can maybe we could eat at home, maybe we get to eat in a press box, maybe we get to eat on the court side of the court because of what his job is with athletics out of school. So, okay, so you started doing that and you really did start seeing a lot of money when you got a handle on the
Yeah.
grocery sale.
I tried to look up what we were spending, like, say, in August for groceries, and I didn't get to total it, but, like, we were going to the grocery store, like, every 2 days, and that was just in my checking account. That wasn't even the credit card or what my
Yes.
husband would pick up on the way home.
I grew up in
Like,
that home where we're not making a plan and we're going to the grocery store
yes,
every night. And I talk to people about this all the time and they try and validate it like, oh, I just don't know what I'm going to feel in the mood for. I'm like, here's the
okay,
deal. Set
fine.
up your next 7 days and you're like,
Yeah,
in the next 7 days, these are the foods we're going to decide to feel in the mood
yes,
for. And then you pick the food of the day, but you have it because I do think that's the biggest overspending thing is, well, I mean, I'm like a habit coach. So like you need to get a new habit around that, guys.
yes,
Create
yep,
a new habit. Let's create a new habit thought.
yeah, yes,
Let's shore that up.
yeah.
This is not helping
Atomic
you.
habit. 21 days. Let's change this.
Yeah, this isn't working. You gotta,
Yeah.
okay. So you did
So yeah,
that.
even if you had a loose meal plan, like, okay,
Yeah,
just like
loose.
you said, in these 7 days, I'm gonna make spaghetti, we're gonna make tacos, we'll have chicken. Great.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
like to have it set on the days just so that I can look ahead and be like, oh, I need to take out the freezer meal
That's what I
tonight for
do.
tomorrow. Like, I need
Yeah.
to think ahead, but some people
We
can't.
don't really have a choice. There's only so many things that you can eat at the score table at a basketball
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Like we're pretty limited right there. So we're with you.
Yeah.
We plan it out according to our schedule. Okay. So you started doing that. That's where you started seeing a little bit of money. Is that where you started going, okay, you're feeling the wins, your confidence is building, and
Yep.
then did it kind of become a fun game
Yeah. So
at that point?
I
So then
think
it's
it
becoming a
began
game.
really budgeting and being like, okay, we bring in this. I sign the money to here. And like the first couple months of budgeting, it was messy. And I don't like messy. I like it like I like to pre-plan, I like to schedule things. So the fact that like from September to October were different really drove me crazy.
Was it just messy
Crazy.
because you own a business or what was the messiest thing about it?
It was just because you go into it maybe not having a full understanding of like, well, my electric bill could be this or it
Oh,
could be this. Or my grocery bill is actually $800 when, when I look back at August and it was only 700. So it's just finally
yeah.
figuring out like kind of where those bills fluctuate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Now
hey, the month you got to buy toilet paper and paper towels can be a
yeah,
big
that's
month.
expensive. That's expensive.
It is.
So I think
Yeah.
it was more like cleaning up the budget how I want to see it, how it
Okay.
flows in my brain. That was the best thing. So like now, by the 20th of the month, I'm like, all right, I'm finished with this month. I'm ready for next month. I
Yeah.
want to get it ready. I want to lay it out
So,
because I know like, okay, I need extra money for Thanksgiving this coming month or whatever.
mhm. Would you say the number one thing women need to do is like, hey, you need to give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Like it's going to be
You need
rough
to give yourself
for a
some
few
grace
months.
and you need to write down your expenses. Because give yourself
Step
some grace because
one,
yes.
give yourself grace and write it
Yes.
all down.
Yes.
Okay, how do you do the like different account thing? It's like here's like a bill account, here's like
I did. It got confusing, especially when I was like, "Oh, the mortgage comes out of this account," and then really it actually came out of this account. I was like, "What happened?"
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
do have one account now that like all bills come out of.
Okay,
My
that's what I
husband might
wondered.
still have a separate checking account, but all of my money goes into the bills.
Yeah.
And his
Yeah.
is like that extra, like just in case money, like, oh, your son
Yeah.
needs basketball shoes, things like that, or our son.
Okay. Yeah, so you have your divided accounts and they're
Yep.
assigned to different things. So, because I see that a lot. I didn't tell you this. I have always been wildly successful in direct sales. And I would always teach women the first thing that you have to do is you need to go open a free checking account. You don't need a business account, just go open a
Mhm.
free checking account because
Yeah.
you're selling all of this product and your sales money is going into this account because in direct sales, you're B2C, you're a wholesaler. It's not like this MLM where things are like automatically shipping. It's like you own a boutique and you're selling the things and the money's all going in here, but then this money has to reorder the things that you sold. But if it's all going into one giant account, your husband goes, "Oh, look, there's $500." And he,
Mhm.
pays the car, what's that called? The car payment with the
Yeah.
$500. And then you go to use 250 of that to order the stuff you were supposed to order and it's not there.
Mhm. No,
So I mean,
luckily
believer,
in our household, I'm the controller.
hmm, yeah,
And I just tell him, I'm like, "Hey, we have this," and he's like, "All right,
yeah,
cool." And
yeah,
which
he's great.
sometimes I do wish we were both hands on together, but it sometimes it
Yeah.
makes it easier that it's not two hands being like, "I pay this. Oh, but I needed to pay that."
Yeah. We had to go to a lot of therapy over that whole situation right there because I did feel like my husband had totally abandoned me and I was like just at the table alone, always sorting out our finances.
Yep.
And we did a lot of that and it just I had to he is getting better and better. I'll say that.
Good.
But what I also had to
Sure.
realize with that was there's just so much going on in his nervous system from his childhood that I'm like, I don't have time to sit at the table and wait for your nervous system to heal to get here for both of us to do this together. So we're just going to keep working on your nervous system and
Oh my
I'm going to
god, it's like
keep
you live in my house.
managing the train. Do you feel that?
Yes,
And
I
people would
I feel
argue
that.
like, "Oh, that's unfair." And sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to be like, "This isn't fair. Why do I have to carry this? Why do I have to do this?" Like I have to like think happy thoughts and make the most money in the house and manage the money. Like that's not fun. But then I also have to be like, "You know what though? Like we're both on our own journey.
Yeah.
It just is what it
No,
is."
my husband, he grew up with very little. They moved
Yeah.
here from Puerto Rico when he was like 4, and so he was a
Whoa. Real.
single mom with 2 kids that were like 2 years apart, and
Boom.
they ate rice and beans like all the time.
Literally
And
living on rice and beans. So was that
rice and
also
beans.
then when he started getting like, "Oh my gosh, look at me. Like we're established. I've got some decent money." It was big money to him.
It was.
It was
It
very
was.
easy to overspend, right? Overspend and
He wasn't the
overextend.
spender at the time. It was me. It was He was actually like the hoarder, hoarding the money, worried that it would go away and
Oh,
or that it would never come
yeah.
back. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
I'm definitely the farm girl money hoarder. I get that.
yeah, and I was
Mhm.
more like not crazy spending. Like I'm not buying purses and all these things, but like I said, if I'm at the dollar store and it's there's sidewalk chalk and there's glow sticks and there's this, I would buy 10 packs of glow sticks. Did I need 10
Dude,
packs? No, but it was
that
it was
right
just
there,
mindless spending.
that is where my husband can spend $1,000 at the
Yeah,
gas station in 7 days.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, why would I buy one pack of sunflower seeds when I can buy 10? Because there's 10 of them, and what if they don't have my flavor next week?
A
What?
scarcity mindset.
See, there you go. Real quick, before we dive back in, I want to share something I created for the women who are growing but still kind of feel like they're doing it alone. If that statement just hit, then this is for you. I've never felt so aligned and so alone. Is the message I kept hearing as more and more women were falling in love with their life doing what they were born to do. They were craving that like minded, iron sharpening iron relationship with other women who were as focused, powerful, and determined to be positive as they were. And that is why I created the Growth Collective. It's our All Things Excellence book club community where you don't have to read the book because audio and PDF Cliff Notes are provided for you. There's a community for you to connect and network with other growth-minded women, plus 2 monthly Zooms where you receive connection and live coaching from me. Head on over to chelseadbc.com/book club to join us. All right, let's get back into it because what you're hearing today is exactly why spaces like the Growth Collective exist. We were never meant to grow alone. Okay, so then you found Rachel, you found the Money Moms Club, you're starting to do that, and then you wake up one day and you decide you're going to pitch her to get a little extra job. And just so you guys know, like in this paying off the $42,000 a year. So number one, you started just looking at your numbers and getting real about budgeting. Number two, you started paying attention to your grocery bill because the Money Moms Club taught you to. So you're saving money there. You're saving money because you're budgeting alone. You're having an awareness. Now you're saving money because you're paying attention to your grocery bill and you're getting really strategic about it. Then you pitch Rachel and you get a job where you're making an extra couple $100s a month, which counts.
Yep. Yep.
Because, here we are, like it's an extra $2,500 a year.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
pitched her. What the heck did you do?
Guys, this is the funniest thing. Like, I think I signed up for the Money Mom Club.
Yeah.
It might have been 2 days later. Like, I watched one of her videos,
Yeah.
and I don't think I've ever even told her this story, but I watched it, and like there was parts she could have like edited out, like pauses. And I was like, I could totally help her with this. And I emailed her, cold emailed her, and I was just like, hey, I'm Jenna. I own a photography studio. I just joined. I need to find the message that I sent to her, but I was like, I actually own a freezer meal business, and I love being on camera, and I know funnels and landing pages and all these things. I could definitely help with your business. And so
Mm-hmm.
she's like, yeah, I'd love to chat. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, this is real. Oh, this is really happening. And so she started by just giving me slow assignments like, hey, can you check in the Facebook group? And then it was like, we make meal plans every 2 weeks. So I'm going to have you like work on those meal plans and like make the shopping cart so that if someone clicks on it, all those items go to the Walmart shopping cart. And then
I'm
it's just
also obsessed with how she's delegating.
how what?
I'm obsessed right now with how she's delegating.
Yeah. Yep. Just she would give me little jobs, but then I would be like, hey, so I decided that we need this and this. So I added it to my to-do list. And she's like, okay. And I was like, she would go into the shared list that she gave me and I would assign myself 10 more things. And
Yeah.
she's like,
And so
I
she's
love
like
that.
paying you here and there for these activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're building value in the group. She's paying you. That's the exchange. You're also adding more extra money. So then also along this time, your husband gets a little bit of a pay increase at work, to which you did what every average American does, and you went, oh wow, this divided by whatever many paychecks in a year, there's going to be an extra $200 a paycheck, which mentally everyone goes, we get to spend $200 a paycheck more in our
Yeah.
budget.
And
But
then
then
when we were
you
like, oh, but
marvel
after taxes, I
in
said to
all
him
the
the other day, I go,
deduction.
oh, you're going to need to transfer, the extra 200
Mhm.
for because our mortgage went up. And he's like, no, remember we talked about it. It's only $75 a paycheck. And I was like, yep,
Yep.
there we go.
Because here's
Yep.
the deal, guys. When you get a pay increase, it's not $200 a paycheck. There are taxes. You're most of these people that are in these corporate jobs, like there's a percentage being pulled out. Like I look at my own husband's, right? Like automatically percentages of stuff are getting pulled out. Percentage for taxes,
Yep.
percentage for retirement,
Yep.
percentage for investments. So it's like you got to figure out, well, what percentage of our paycheck is actually getting sent away every time? And remember that a $200 paycheck increase could really only actually be $75 additional at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's
I
crazy.
think I know.
So
We talked
luckily
about that.
we weren't banking on this huge amount. And so we're like, okay, I added into our budget that, he increased $75 and then we put that where we need it,
Yeah.
which right
What?
now I'm fiercely working to pay off our Wells Fargo credit card.
Oh, fierce. Okay, so at what point did this become not a burden and stress and anxiety, and it became kind of a fun game?
Gosh.
Because
I
this
think,
whole thing started last August
yep,
2024.
yep,
When would you
yep.
say it kind of started to get a little fun?
Sometime this year, because I had started the debt snowball. So I
Yeah.
had paid off this little thing, then I paid off the next thing, then I paid off the next thing. And like I had a sheet written down of these are our debts from smallest to largest. And I would write down like paid next to it. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to get the
Oh,
next one. I'd write paid next to it. And
you weren't
it,
just paying them off. Like you had a list, again, starting smallest to biggest, and you started with the smallest paying it off, but you had a chart where you were tracking it to reward yourself. Like
yes,
recognize yourself.
yep,
Do you think that's important?
I do. Because otherwise, it feels like you're always going towards a goal that you're not hitting, but you have to recognize those small wins. You're like, holy cow, you're like, I just paid off that credit card 3 months early. I just saved $300 in interest. Like, small wins are going to keep you moving towards your next goal for sure.
Yeah. So
Yep.
somewhere in the last 6 months, it started to get fun.
I think so.
Okay. What were other areas that you found were great places to be able to pay off these bigger chunks of debt that totaled up to $42,000?
Um, other areas.
Because like $150 times 12 and $200 times 12 does not equal 42,000 for your husband getting a pay increase and you getting a little side hustle.
Yeah,
Where else did chunks of money come from that you guys paid off this debt?
I did have a single stock that I
Okay.
sold that was like $5,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Because you just decided like tis better honestly to sell this and pay off this debt. Like the gain was definitely in paying off the debt. Okay, so you
yeah,
decided to do that.
and
Hmm.
I learned more about like mutual funds are probably a better option because if one company were to go down, the whole ship doesn't go down.
Because you had this stock in this single company. I heard you talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So you were like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not put all of our eggs in one basket. So you
Yep.
shifted that where the eggs were.
Yep.
Did you ever figure out like, I mean, how much do you think that do you think you were spending like 700 to $1,000 a month in groceries before?
I think it was like 800. 800 to 1,000 probably. Like,
Yeah. 800 to 1,000. Do
yeah.
you know what you spend now? Like what do you budget now?
So I do 6 to 700.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
dietary restrictions keep fluctuating. So sometimes I'm carnivore, sometimes I'm keto, sometimes I'm dairy free. I don't really know where the wind's taking me right now,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
as I'm figuring it out, sometimes I do have to shift. I think when I first started budgeting, I think I was trying to keep us at 500, and that made me crazy.
Mm,
That brought so much anxiety and like maybe not shame and guilt, but you're at the grocery store and you want to cry because you're
yeah.
like, well, I can't do I okay, I'll just I know we should be eating organic bananas, but I'm just gonna get the rate and we're only gonna get five. Like it felt terrible. So
Yeah.
once I gave myself grace and gave myself permission of like, okay, what if we extend that to 600? It was a world of difference.
Yeah.
A
I
world of difference.
love that because I look at this sometimes this like grocery bill cutting thing and I go, okay, we have the wildest dietary restrictions that cause us to be 2 to 3 times more expensive than other people. I mean, literally, we were at Sprouts the other day and I was like, okay, so here are these special muffins that we can eat, or here are the Sprouts muffins that they make. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we need the $9 muffins,
Yep.
and we used to be able to get the $3 muffins. Like,
Yeah, remember when we were younger and could eat everything?
everything, and it just didn't make us feel like we were dying or breaking out in a rash or you know what I mean, migraines, things like that. And so there was a little bit of it where I'm going, okay, I'm not crazy. Like I do pay attention to my groceries, but I love that you said that. You had to give yourself grace in that thing because it was making you a little crazy. So do you feel like you really did you got grounded in reality of the fact of like we need to be very conscious of our spending, but we also need to give ourselves grace of like we can't make ourselves crazy
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
still wanted to be
Like,
able to enjoy your lifestyle.
yeah. And a lot of this started because I started, my friend gave me one of the Dave Ramsey books and I
Hmm.
read it and I was like, this makes total sense. Like, I get
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
Listening to his show, he's a little bit crazy because he's very intense. And I didn't want us to feel that restricted and that
Hmm.
intense.
Yeah.
My goals in my head did, but like realistic, like that's not how we want to live, you know?
I just don't think that the average person can actually stick with that. It takes a very
It's hard.
specific personality type to torture themselves for long enough to
Yeah.
make those results happen.
Yes.
And my husband and I were not torture ourselves people.
No.
We're just not.
No. Some of
Mm-mm.
our cutting back on things has felt a little sad. Like we
Mhm.
always go to the Cape every year. But once we
Mm,
figured out how much money that costs, it was well over $3,000 to rent a house, to go out there and get food. We have to get
yeah,
ice cream every night. That's like a thing.
it
We have
is
to
a
put the
thing.
dog up. Like that's a lot of freaking money. That was a quarter of what our whole credit card bill was.
Yeah. Do you think I always say this to my husband, I will figure out, okay, so if you want to do that and you want to go for
Mhm.
this specific thing, like especially going back home for something, I'll say, okay, so if we do that, by the time this is all the expenses, it'll be $2,200. Is the exchange of joy worth $2,200?
Yes.
And I asked
Yep.
him that, is the joy exchange $2,200? And that's when he goes, no. And now sometimes the answer is yes, like
Yeah, for
going
sure.
back and playing his annual soccer tournament with his friends.
Mm,
Is the joy exchange worth it? Yes. Okay, that's awesome. Then
yes.
yes. But
Yep.
is it worth it? Is that like the joy exchange? Is it there? And so I had to kind of verbalize it for that, like that for
Hmm.
us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. What is, okay, so I want to talk about two more things. One, I want to talk about the house story because I
Okay.
feel like the whole world could throw so much shame at you about this house story. Like this is
Yes.
such an American shame story right here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then I want to know, what is the permission that you would love to give? I want, honestly, the summer of 2024, you before you started budgeting. What permission would you want to give her?
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay. We're gonna hit our feels. But tell us a house story. Like
Okay.
tell me the American shame house story first.
Yes.
And then what permission would you give summer 2024 pre-budgeting Jenna before you knew that you could do this and pay off $42,000 in debt? So shaming house
Oh,
story.
no. Okay. Shaming house story. Let's start there.
Yes, yes. Okay, go there.
So, my husband's getting sucked into the algorithm that like he looked at one house on Facebook
Yeah.
and now it sends him multiple houses.
And
And
this is a
we,
couple in the last couple of months.
yeah, even the past year, like, and we know we're going to move out of this house. It's just not on the game plan like immediately. Our house is lovely. We have a built-in backyard, like a pool, like it's awesome. It's just the three of us are out, three and our dog are completely
Mhm.
outgrowing this house.
Yeah.
So he sent me a bunch, and I'm always like, that one's stupid. And I just put it down. And then he sent me one on a Friday night. He was like, check this one out. And we're like, oh. And just the night before, when I envisioned my like dream house and what I want it to be, I want it to be kind of like where I grew up, where it's a little bit more like away from the city, and like there's like trees and there's a backyard and like you're not on top of your neighbors. And that night before, I was like, I think I need to shift it, that it needs to be more in a neighborhood where there's kids that my son can play with, that he can go ride his bike and go trick or treating and, have that social connection. So here the
Yeah.
next day, my husband, not knowing that, sends me this house.
Sends you the dream.
It was the dream. It was perfect. And I was like, oh, that's near where our son goes to Taekwondo. So the next
Mm.
morning, I was like, hey, send me that listing. I wanna go drive by the house. So I drive by the house like this, awe, just awe. And the
It's
realtors
your dream.
outside, was that?
It's your dream. You're like,
It,
this
it
is
was
my dream.
it was freaking perfect. It was in like a cul-de-sac type area, and there was all these houses, and you could tell there were kids, and there was a front porch, and the realtors outside. I'm talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, I have an open house later," and I burst out crying, and I was like, "We're budgeting, and we can't buy a house right now." And he's like, "It's okay, it's okay." But
But
it was
June 2024, Jenna would have figured it out.
I might have jumped on the house because before I started budgeting, I didn't think about all the other things that came with the house. Like, what are the taxes? This house was way bigger than our house now. What's the electric? What's is there trash pickup? How much is that? Like all the extra things that
HOA
come with
fees.
buying a house. Yes. Like,
Yes, that is okay. That is 40s.
whew,
We were talking about this before we hit record, y'all. Is like Kobe and I will drive around and go, my gosh, can you imagine what the electricity bill is on that house? Because we did live in a 3,600 square foot house, and the electricity bill was a solid $1,000,
yeah,
with me being a crazy psychopath about it, making it over 80 degrees in the summer.
that's
It was over
wild.
$1,000, and I was like, I
Yep.
refuse to pay more than that. Like that's where I cap. We're not doing that. $1,000 a month. But I think it's not like we
Electricity.
don't think like, oh, we can afford the extra $400 a month mortgage. Okay, fine, but there's an extra
Yeah.
$1,000 a month when it boils down to taxes, insurance, HOA, electricity, gas, yard work,
All the things.
water.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because your
Like,
yard is bigger and you need more water. And
yep.
so you did all the math, and then what happened?
Like even just the few things of like electricity,
Yeah.
heat, gas, and I was like, we are not at a place to do this right now. And I call him, he's at the dealership getting an oil change. And I'm like, and I'm like, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like,
You're
I just
having a
drove by
mental
the house and we
breakdown
can't.
because you know
Mental
you can't
breakdown.
have this house, and he's getting an
Yeah.
oil change.
Yeah, and so it took me maybe 2 hours to, like, really, like, process
Yeah.
what happened, that it's not the right time. There's other houses. It will be
Yeah.
okay. And it
Yeah.
was it just took me a few moments to, like, gather myself and be like, "Okay, what just happened?" But it really brought it to light of how much I've learned budgeting and how much more I'm aware, and it made it that we didn't jump on something to now increase our chances of being more in debt and more behind and not making it and being in a
Yeah.
scary place.
I'm just so proud of you for not living in the place the average person lives in, the figure it out. Because with kids, we get told a lot like, oh, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. And I'm like, that's not a good answer. It's really not a good answer. Like not really. Like, oh, just buy the dream house. Just buy the dream car. You'll
It'll work
figure it
out.
out. That's just not like that's why the average American is in whatever the crazy heck debt. Did you know there's some wild statistic of like, I think it's a set. Oh my gosh, I just had it. We had an interview on our podcast episode on Friday, went over this. 75% of Americans don't actively budget,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
55% of Americans are stressed about money.
Yep. Yep. I've be I have to admit it out loud. I've become judgy when I see people just willy-nilly buying things. Like my brother, he's giving me agita because he's like, "Oh, well, I bought a blow up thing for outside for Halloween." And then he shows me a picture or a video of my nephew like pretend chainsawing with his little, and he's got like a helmet and a thing. And I'm like, "He's 3. Why are you buying
Yeah.
him all this?" Like, it's
Yeah.
really giving me a lot of anxiety to watch other people
Yeah.
just crazy spend.
Yeah.
And I don't
But
know
it's
their
because
financial
you know where
situation,
they're
maybe
going.
they're fine.
That's because your heart of heart, you just want to save them, you want to help them, you want to protect them because you're like,
Yeah,
I did that and this is where it
yes,
led me. And so
and
your
it didn't
nervous
feel
system is
good.
losing its mind. You just don't want them to go where you've been.
Yes, the
Okay.
PTSD comes back hard. Yeah,
Yes, you want to stop them. You want to stop them from crashing their own train. So, one, congratulations on paying off $42,000 in debt the last year
thank
and
you so
not
much.
having to do anything wild and crazy. Just literally like creating some awareness, creating some budgeting, sticking to your
Picking up a
guns
side
on some
hustle.
stuff. Not
Yeah,
being wild and not neglecting yourself of everything, but saying no to some things today to be able to say yes to them so much better, in the future. Um, so what, yeah, and I always say like with the housing, I'm like, I call it the shaming house story because if you would tell most people like, oh yeah, we really wanted that house, but it just wasn't in our budget. We can't, saying like, oh, wait, you can't afford it. Oh. And then they're like, oh, poor you. They do that like,
mhm.
oh, bless your heart thing that we love
Oh,
to do.
honey.
Oh, someday, and you're like, I can feel you shaming me right now. This is so weird and annoying. Please stop doing that. So I'm just so proud of you for getting so ground reality and going like, it's okay. It's just not now. It's not forever.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so before we let everybody go, what permission would you want to give to pre-budgeting summer 2024 Jenna, who was starting to realize we can't keep doing what we're doing. We gotta do something different. But I'm basically scared shitless of doing something different. Yeah.
So what do you
What
mean
would
give
you
permission? What am I thinking? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
Like what would you want to say to her? Because she kept
Take a deep breath.
resisting. Like
Yes.
you kept knowing you needed to do it and you kept not doing the do. You kept not figuring it out,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Think next month will be
I
better.
think take a deep breath, just sit down and write out, what do you spend your money on? Like, you have to bring it to real life and bring it to the universe and admit it. And it's going to feel icky, it's going to feel shameful, you might bring up some guilt, but you have to have those feelings in order to go, well, what's my next step to get past them? It's maybe not having more money, but it's building better habits. And
Mm,
a lot of us don't realize that we think more money is the answer, but more money is going to keep you using it the same way. So I think it's really just being responsible. You know, I remember sitting in the living room with my husband, and I was like, okay, open up your bank account, and he's just like, and he's not excited, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, what'd you spend on this? What'd you spend? Like, it felt long, it felt tedious, it felt
it wasn't
cumbersome,
fun,
like
was it?
it was not fun. And then
Yeah.
setting it all up felt scary because you're like, I don't know if we have enough money to pay these bills and cover all the things. But kind of once you start narrowing it down and going, okay, I have 5 TV subscriptions and we only use 2. It's okay to get rid of these for right now. Like we will live. It's okay. Like he had a subscription to go to the car wash, unlimited car wash for each month. And it was $20. And I was like, for right now, we just need to shut it off. But it now gives me a stocking stuffer because I can buy him a couple passes to the car wash and put it in a stocking for Christmas.
Oh, I like that idea. I love that idea. Oh my gosh, this was so incredible. The moment I heard your story, I just knew that we had to
Aw.
spread your story bigger because you paid off $42,000 in debt, not by going and doing something crazy or that, y'all are making $1 million a year. And so you
No.
just edited a little bit or, somebody died and you inherited
Yeah.
money and then you paid off debt. You know what I mean? You didn't
No.
win the lottery. There was no scratch
No.
ticket. It's just you made the decision to be wildly intentional and take responsibility of your
Yes.
finances and like own your crap. And I love that.
Your
I
crap.
just own your crap. I think we need to get more stories out there where it's like, I didn't want to do it either. I was scared to death and I started owning my crap and here I am. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so much. This
jumping
was
on.
great.
I love it. Well, all right. All things
Can we do
excellence,
a part
fam.
2? Can we do a part 2, like a debt-free scream when I pay off like my next 3 things or something?
Oh, when
Yeah.
you get it all done, you're coming back. Oh, absolutely. This is happening. That we're going to
Right?
celebrate. We will,
Okay.
we call it a board break, you like break the board of celebration. We will board break, celebrate together when you get
Right?
it all done. And then yes, she will be back, y'all. She will be back. Thank you, All Things Excellence fam. Go to the show notes, give her a follow, do all the things. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to y'all next time.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for listening to All Things Excellence. If something landed with you today, I'd love for you to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find these transformational conversations. And if you're ready for support with your next step, or needing someone to stand in the gap with you to figure out what that even is, I'd love to create that space for you. And my intro clarity call is a great place to start because life is too quick and too full to have to figure it out alone. Until next time, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for listening.